Hello, Terra Nova LSM and hello, world. I'm your host, Dalva. And, well, we are still in the process of moving. So, for all the folks that we now have in our Facebook group, if you haven't been with us the past couple of years over at the My Networks, welcome. We're glad to have you. For all those folks who have been with us since the very beginning, we're grateful that you are continuing this journey with us. And I have a couple of announcements, and I wrote them down because, Mercury retrograde, and that's my very first one. So I'm not going to do a whole lot of astrology in these daily readings. We'll save that for our new moon circle, which is going to meet January 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern. Everyone is invited to show up. Please do. So our new moon circle, our first meeting for 2023, Aquarius new moon, a little bit of a surprise, usually Capricorn, but it's Aquarius, January 22nd, 3 p.m. I've put up an event page, reminder thing on Facebook. Just, if you have any questions, please ask me or Kim. Mercury retrograde ends January 18th, so hopefully we can make it to the 18th without too many missed emails, missed calls, cars breaking down, stuttering over things like I'm kind of doing right now. But I just wanted to let you all know Mercury retrograde ends January 18th. January 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern, we're having our new moon circle meeting. And what happens there, it helps if you know the astrology. You don't have to. It helps if you know your own chart. Again, you don't have to. We'll kind of chat about that. And we usually draw cards too. So it's just a way for us to support each other with our intention setting. So please join us if you get a chance. We're changing up the weekly card readings. So it used to be bi-weekly. I would take the first part of the week, Kim would take the second part of the week. It's what we've been doing for a couple of years now. It makes more sense in this new format that we just do weekly readings. So what that looks like, starting now, and now is January 15th. Okay, so this whole week, I'm doing a reading for this week. Next week, Kim will do a reading for next week. The week after, and the week after is the 29th through February 4th. I have to check the calendar. I'll be doing readings. So we're just going to swap off like that, just back and forth, back and forth. It just frees up our time again to kind of interact with you all, to chat, and really at this point it just makes more sense. So we're going to start doing that. We're going to do weekly readings rather than bi-weekly. We're going to talk about theme days. So when we were at the Mighty Networks and we had our own site, we had kind of a forum going on, and we had different topics, and people could drop in and post questions or post stories or post pictures, and we kind of lost a little bit of that with this. I mean, we can make posts, but it's not quite as organized. So we're going to try to do theme days. So Mondays, and Kim's already started the magnetic poetry. Everybody loved that over at My Networks. So Mag Poetry Mondays, Weird Wednesdays, and weird is anything. Okay, so you want to talk about UFOs, you want to talk about the poltergeist in your attic, you want to talk about fairies, you want to talk about an angel sighting, whatever constitutes weird for you. We're very open. We have a very open, loose interpretation of weird. Please share with us. That being said, if you're out for a Sunday drive and you see a UFO land in someone's yard, don't wait till Wednesday to tell us about that, please. When you get home, shoot us a message. All right. Fridays, Phantom Fridays, and there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of fandoms. Okay, so we tend to think fandoms of like being the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, or just Marvel. There's a lot. Some people like Harry Potter, some people like Star Wars, some people like Doctor Who, some people like Highlander. I'm trying to think. There's loads of them, and because there's loads of them, I can't come up with this big comprehensive list. Whatever floats your boat. If there's a franchise that you're really passionate about, there's a movie coming out, there's a book coming out, Outlander, there's another one that comes to mind. Please come chat with us. Meet other people who enjoy the same fandom. Make new friends. Have a conversation. That's what we're trying to foster here. And then Saturdays, if you're a crafty, creative person, if you keep a garden, maybe not right this second if you keep gardens, but if you do generally keep a garden, you crochet, you knit, you cross stitch, um, whatever a craft, you paint, you write music, you write poetry, please share that with us on Saturdays. I mean, we have a thing, like no self promotion as far as like, this is my site and please buy my, whatever. Like, we're not doing that here. But if you want to share something with us that you're really proud of, and again, connect with other people who are doing the same thing or who are doing something similar and share your creative ideas, Saturday, please come down, Creative Saturdays. We want you all to share. And of course, we'll be reminding you of this because, again, it's sort of a shift from the Mighty Networks and kind of keeping the things that work there, but in changing up the format and making it work in this new format is what I'm trying to get down to. Fairly soon, and I'll let Kim talk about this more when she's ready. We do offer classes. We offered classes at the Mighty Networks. We're going to continue to do that this year. Again, it'll be a slightly different format, but we're still offering the things that people enjoyed and that did work. So if you're new and you have questions, please ask. We're all very friendly here. And we're glad to have you. I really want to emphasize, we're really glad you're here. We want to talk to you. We want to answer your questions. We want you to post things. We want you to be active and involved. Okay? So that's it for the announcements. Before we get started with this reading, let's take a nice deep cleansing breath in. Let it go and let it flow. So I have 4 cards out here in front of us, and it looks like we're going to have some, maybe some challenging energy here at the beginning of the week, or even kind of as we go forward. Because again, I say I'm doing the reading for this week, Kim's doing the reading for next week. The messages tend to carry over, or the energy tends to carry over. This is kind of, and you'll see patterns. Like the more we do this, or the more that you listen, and I've noticed it, and Kim's noticed it, a lot of our readings will sync up. And it's just what we're all working on. I do anticipate that I might be interrupted here in maybe a couple of minutes because I just heard my partner come in. If he does, I don't edit these. This is off the cuff, straight shooting. He may stick his head in here and I may have to tell him to go, but otherwise, just giving you all a heads up we might be interrupted. Love Mercury retrograde. We love it, right? We're just loving it. We're loving all the reflection and stuff we're getting to do. And the fun little surprises, right? We just love this. So our first card, and this one is possibly triggery, little trigger with it, DNA, and it says karma. Now I want to emphasize right off the bat that karma is not punitive. Okay, this is not you do a bad thing, then something bad happens to you. This is more about energetic balance, and quite frankly, I think about Dr. King's quote about, justice, the arc of justice, is wide. And I feel like that's a little bit more accurate. Like I know he was a Christian minister, but it feels like he's describing karma. This arc is wide, but it bends toward justice, right? And again, I feel like this is something that we can't even zoom out enough to see. Encompasses so many lifetimes, so many experiences, so many energy exchanges that it's really more complex than what we can actually interpret. But looking at this and the intertwined snakes, and the whole message is about our DNA, that, and I'm not going to get into this too much because I'm not that knowledgeable about it, the idea of ancestral karma, or that we have a spiritual component to our DNA that that we carry over, even in our bodies. Okay, so if that's interesting to you, or if that's something you want to learn more about, I encourage you to Google it. I'm going to deal with this card as just straight the idea of karma. Okay, that we all have karma, we all carry karma. I don't like to use the words good karma or bad karma, it's just karma. Okay, we've all had energy exchanges, we've all had previous lives, we've all been doing the human thing for a while, and it's all about balancing out our actions. I think in some ways, some of this balancing could be perceived as positive, and sometimes it could be perceived as negative, depending, but I think it's all ultimately for our higher self, our growth, our evolution as a soul. So some of this may be coming up. What I would tell you all to look for is if you meet new people, if they feel familiar, like you've known them before, you've known them forever, you've met them before. Familiar situations that keep cropping up, kind of keep your eye out for those. Repeating patterns, yours or other people's patterns. This might have some karmic signature to it. And I can't tell you what to do with this other than face up to it, acknowledge it, be open to the lesson that it's teaching you. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to avoid someone or to avoid this or to go do that. That's not my place, and that's beyond the scope of what we're doing here. If you want to chat if there's something going on, again, this is a supportive, safe space. If you all want to chat, please. We're here to support each other. But I'm just saying that this may be coming up. And we're still, again, at the beginning of the week here. Mercury doesn't go direct until the 18th, so that may have something to do with it as well. Just kind of just be aware of this. This may be something that you are challenged by or blessed by, or something that might be coming up for you. And I say challenge, and I feel like it's probably going to be more of a challenge because our next card is Tsunami. And this is a wake-up call. All right, that's kind of scary. All right, that could be scary. We don't have to let it be, or we can accept that maybe it might be a little frightening, a little challenging, and lean into that, and that's okay. But this feels a whole lot like maybe there's been some avoidance and some denial of things, maybe the patterns, right? And we're not getting away with it anymore. It's like, nope, it's time to wash this away. It's time to clean it up. It's time to heal it. It's time to let it go, let it flow, let it pass, let whatever, let it resolve. This feels like resolution. Like this is time for this to be over. Whatever pattern or behavior or relationship or situation or that has this karmic signature to it, it's done. It's played out. And that can be challenging. I don't want to minimize the fact that can be challenging. It can be a relief, though. It can be a blessing. Like at the time, it may be it may be hard. Okay, it may be upsetting. But our next two cards, folks, the spring equinox, and this is rebirth. So we got Ostara, the Germanic goddess of the dawn, here on the front. You want to know where the egg-laying rabbits came from? It came from her. Okay. She's occasionally called Easter. That's where we got Easter. For the Catholic Church, sort of took that over as a excuse me, Christian holiday. So that's the pagan roots of Easter there. So spring equinox. So I'm feeling like a lot of this right here that's going on is going to be happening in the next, really maybe couple of months. Hopefully it won't be going on that long, but it might be. Okay, we'll see. I mean, we're going to take this, me and Kim both taking this week by week, and we're here for you all. But by the spring equinox, it's time, whatever you washed away here, whatever rain is left over, whatever tears you shed, is watering the garden. Okay, this is opening the door, opening the windows, letting fresh air in, cleaning it out, and making room for something new. And that, again, we're talking, this is archetypal stuff, so this could be a lot of different things for a lot of different folks, but I'm just telling you that there's some hope. All right, that when we're dealing with our stuff here, folks, and we're cleaning out our closet, it makes room for new things. Okay, and that our fourth card is rainbow blessings. That we're growing, we're making room for new things, new projects, new relationships, new situations, fresh karma, because we're always creating karma. I hate to say that, but it's true. It's like that's the cycle of samsara, life, death, rebirth, life, death, rebirth. We're constantly in this, right? But it's time for rebirth. Okay, it's time for blessings. It's going to be blessed. Whatever you're working on, once you've done the healing, once you've done the hard work, you're going to be blessed. Okay, the rainbow after the storm. And I think it's really important that we look at that together, right? Now, I pulled this card, and it's followed up by this card. These two cards, karma, rebirth. Okay, So there's a very strong message here that, you know, we're going to be processing some things. We're going to be dealing with some things, probably karmic things, things that we may have. They may not even feel that strange to us. It may be something very familiar, and we're just finally like, no, no more of this. I'm done. Okay, and that's going to make room for the new, and the new is going to be blessed. So if you have any questions or comments, concerns, please post them in the comments below. We're here to foster a conversation. And I just realized, thank you, Mercury retrograde. Did I not tell you all that I drew cards from the Earth Magic deck by Stephen Farmer? I've been leaning a little bit more earthy here in the last days of Capricorn. So there's the front of that deck, and here are the beautiful cards, the backs of the cards that I drew from. So it looks like Yggdrasil, right? The tree of life here. So again, questions, comments, concerns about the reading, questions about the deck, questions about the site, questions about what we're doing here, and again, our topics span. You're not into astrology, you're not into the card readings. We talk about a lot of different things. You want to talk about your gardening, you want to talk about your livestock, you want to talk about work, you want to whatever it is. Basically, this is a safe space for everyone. We want to foster conversation rather than strife. So that's why we're here. Anyway, I hope everyone has a fantastic week, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye for now.